Hello and welcome to Andy's Little Sci-Fi Horror Show. My name's Andy.
I'm Drew.
And this is my little 10-minute window to the rest of the world. And today we're talking about...
Alien Invasion movie.
Now this is something he's really concerned with in life, so we're going to tread very lightly here.
Alright, well, first of all, the alien invasion genre has been in science fiction probably since science fiction has been around. In fact...
Probably what created it.
In fact, it was the first really good story of alien invasion is by H.G. Wells. War of the Worlds, right?
One of my absolute favorites. Now this story has been in book form, radio broadcast form, motion picture. It has been a TV miniseries, but it never seems to get old.
No, it doesn't. It's a classic example of what an alien invasion would probably be looked upon by the human race.
And even to this day, it's never been portrayed to the world better than by H.G. Wells' radio broadcast, because that actually...
Oh, yeah.
When they did that, that set panic to the world. That and changed FCC regulations for radio stations and TV stations for generations to come.
Orson Welles did that.
Yes.
So thank you, Orson. Thank you.
One of the iconic things about the War of the World, other than how terrifying it actually was introduced to the people and how people still hold it in their hearts as something really scary, was the aliens themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Their body structures were elements of 3 as opposed to 2. Humans have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears. These had 1 eye and 3 legs, or appendages, or arms, whatever you want to call them. A lot of science fiction films those days had the man in the rubber suit.
Oh,
man in the rubber suit, 2 arms, 2 legs, such.
War of the Worlds isn't the only movie that's dealt with alien invasion. In fact, tons of movies in the 1950s talked about alien invasion, such as one that we've talked about before, Robot Monster.
The genre was all over the drive-in movies back then.
But probably one of my favorite alien invasion stories is one that was turned into a TV miniseries into the 1980s. You might remember it, V.
The original V, we'll call it classic,
yeah,
was something that people hadn't seen in a long, long time. And actually, in the beginning, I remember, it came around a time where TV was just getting edgier than society really liked, with The Day After.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then they had the startling advertisement, like a teaser trailer, we would call it now if it were a movie, where the spaceships came down to Earth and the people were panicking. And they actually had a disclaimer on the bottom of the screen, this is just a TV series.
It's just a TV show.
Because, you know, again, Orson Welles, thank you very much.
I guess no matter how you slice it, people are just afraid of aliens coming down and taking us out. The one thing about V that I thought was a really interesting take on the alien invasion genre is it was more of a resistance story than it was an actual alien invasion story. It was like the aliens come down to become our friends and they want to eat us.
Well, some of them become friends and a little too friendly.
Yeah.
As these, you know, with the alien babies.
Yeah, a little
like
too
rubber
friendly.
puppet.
Robert Englund is in that series too. That's another important thing to note. That Robert Englund was actually in V before he started his career as Freddy Krueger.
And they ate white mice, but they actually were eating marshmallows.
Yeah, and white chocolate too. It was made
And of course, like most things, most classic anything horror or sci-fi, they remade it today. A little bit more of a harder edge. I wasn't too excited about it.
I watched it.
I was kind of upset that they had like 4 episodes and then they made you wait a year.
I know. They should have just made another mini-series like they did in the 80s.
Now, alien invasions aren't all dire, you know, invasion and terror. Thanks to Tim Burton and the classic card series Mars Attacks, we have a classic, almost not spoof but yet funny variation of Alien Invasion, Mars Attacks.
What is that? White House is coming out live.
My fellow Americans, this is a momentous occasion. It is profoundly moving to know there is intelligent life out there. Alien life. And our world will never feel quite the same again.
Please come to Earth, please.
Once you rise above fear,
Annihilate! Kill! Kill!
let's not be too rash. Then you'll be invited.
Hi there. Are you interested in the White House?
To meet with a new people.
It's so perfect that it's happening at the beginning of the new millennium.
More powerful than the might of America.
I'll tell you one thing, they ain't getting a TV.
More advanced than the brains of Britain.
Ladies and gentlemen, this could be a cultural misunderstanding.
To dance.
Girls, get out!
To a new tune.
Kick the crap out of them.
What, in your view, are some of the things that the Martians can teach us, Professor?
Quite a lot about Mars, I expect, Natalie.
I think they've come to save us.
From director Tim Burton.
Hey, we all make mistakes, Mr. President.
Mars Attacks.
They actually redid scenes from the cards and put them in the movie.
They started the whole movie off with one of my favorites, The Burning Cattle.
Oh yeah, that was right. They started the movie.
It was actually a very controversial scene. The rest of the movie was funny. You know, Jack Nicholson's the president for crying out loud. Who was it? Martin Short.
Martin Short was like
a president
advisor or something like
hilarious. The Kennedy room.
Oh my god! It's like a swanky lounge. What a crazy movie that was. Now another alien invasion movie that is a little more psychological. I thought this one was pretty good. It's M. Night Shyamalan's Signs.
Actually, I was going to bring this one up because I thought you were going another route. I think The Signs is probably the best invasion film in years. Simply because you experienced it exactly the way we experienced it.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Most of the movie takes place in a small farmhouse, and the only access to what's going on outside is either go out there and experience it yourself, or stand by your TV. Not only was it like well done, it came out right at the time at 9/11. They actually, in behind the scenes on the DVDs, they talk about they found out about 9/11 while they were shooting. The cast, the crew, everybody was having a real moment at that time. And when that movie came out, it was just, it was over the top. Even though they showed the alien at the end, which I really, really wish they hadn't done that. Yeah. The payoff was worth it because it explained why you couldn't see it earlier because it can blend like a chameleon into the corn. It explained a lot by showing the alien.
They had to have that moment.
I know, but I love the
introduction. That's up for debate, but yeah.
When they roll in the TV and you just get a glimpse of it in the TV.
Oh, that was that was awesome.
Hell, I like literally jumped back. That in the cornfield scene.
Yeah, I think the Joaquin Phoenix's reaction when he's like
unrated. When they show the clip on the news and he he's sitting on the sofa and then he ends up in the closet. Brilliant.
Probably one of the more popular and more recognizable alien invasion films of recent memory. It's the more crowd-pleasing special effects genre film that it is. It is, of course, Roland Emmerich's Independence Day.
Now, I think what made this movie so special is that they really encompassed all alien invasions before. They took a little bit from V. They took a little bit from War of the Worlds. They took a lot of it. All of it, and they put it in a really well together package. The special effects were top notch. The cast was excellent. It was a completely unbelievable story, but you took the journey because it was all familiar in a way from other movies.
I still watch it whenever I see it on TV. Whenever I pop it on, it's Independence Day! I remember when that movie came out. It was July 4th weekend, 1996, and I remember going to see that movie in the theater. It was like going to a football game. Everybody's like, yeah! Like, like the president's getting up, we're gonna kick ass! And it was like, oh yeah! It's like all this. It says something when every alien invasion film that you've made since that has been compared to it.
Well, that's all we have time for in tonight's episode of Alien Invasion. My name's Andy.
I'm Drew.
And keep watching the skies.
Watch it for.